Me to Kuro Games when I win at 50-50. I'm so stupid.
Boys, yeah, we are back again with the exact same topic as yesterday, okay? Wuthering's main devs, the Kuro Games company, was essentially bought out by Tencent. I'm talking about it again for one main reason. So many of you are dumb. Not all of you. Definitely not all of you, right? But at least from my statistics in my video, there's a solid 1/4 of you who don't seem to understand the point of the video. And look, firsthand, I will admit, as you can see here, it was a 5-minute video and I uploaded it maybe a day ago or so now, by the time you're watching this video. But the whole point of it was to kind of just be very reactionary, say instantly the long and the short of it, or what it means, and, you know, bing bang bosh, we're kind of done with it. Yeah, you guys didn't take it like that. At least some of you didn't. A lot of people are calling me dumb, which fair, I am an Australian guy. I do kind of get a lot of things wrong, and I wear gravity boots to walk around on this earth. I understand that entirely. So, the main thing I'm gonna talk about is how this move is mutually beneficial, if not exclusively beneficial for Kuro Games, and it's only going to be a good thing going forward in the future, alright? So we're going to get more into the reads of the situation than anything. And also, if you're watching, yeah, thank you in advance. If you do like it, please like, comment, and subscribe, and yeah, help grow the channel. Try 2,500 by the end of the year. Thank you so much. Alright, so getting back to the original source, which my video was sourced from, we have this giant page essentially explaining from the financial end of things, Kuro and Tencent, what all of this was, okay? So when I translate, it gives us more of a understanding, at least in English terms. So Tencent holds 51% of the shares that control Kuro Games. Kuro's internal ledger is still operating independently, similar to Riot Games. So, off the bat, I just want you guys to kind of understand this. All because they own the majority stake sharehold, they still don't have, at least contractually speaking, any authority to augment delivery or development cycles of games and roadmaps, okay? This is something that is kind of unique in the gaming space, as opposed to kind of other sectors of the world, where when you're a majority shareholder, you call the shots, right? You do whatever you want. It is essentially your company because you own most of it, okay? If you had a board meeting and there was a majority vote, whatever you say is goes, because even the other 49% disagree with you, it's still the minority, okay? But going in further deep into it, recently, Kachacha showed that Guangzhou Kuro Technology has undergone industrial and commercial changes. 2 companies under Hero Games have withdrawn from the regular shareholders, and about 37% of shares held by Tencent companies have been taken over. So to keep that in mind, Tencent already had a stake in Kuro Games. They just now have a bigger piece of the pie, okay? And including the original Tencent holdings is increased to 20%, about 17% of the new Century Engineering Technology Limited. Okay, so that's pretty much explaining the numbers of it, how we're getting to that 51, 52%. And after the change completed, Tencent will become the only external shareholder of Kuro, accounting to 51.4% of the shares in a controlling state. Alright, we'll get to that in a moment. Kuro insiders said that this change to a transaction between external shareholders has nothing to do with the decisions of Kuro and its management, and that Kuro will continue to operate independently, similar to Riot Games and Supercell, and its independent operations strategy has not changed. Multiple sources close to the transaction confirmed the news. At the same time, Kuro also released an internal letter of the company which was consistent with the above statement, right? Following a external letter that's more transcribed and blah blah blah, you know, probably firsthand without the translations, maybe it says a little bit different. You know, give the benefit of the doubt just for you guys who want to keep saying this is a bad thing, okay? So, the big part of all of this, Kuro didn't really have a hand in any of this transaction, by the way, alright? They really didn't. And that's the thing a lot of people don't really seem to get. Because when you do go back and recite it, let me pull up the monitor again, 2 companies under Hero Games have withdrawn from the ranks of shareholders. Just stop right there. Nothing to do with Kuro Games, it was already internally a 49% company. It's always been that, okay? And typically in situations like this, when you do get a change of hands and a change of power, there's definitely going to be some level of contracts in place or some fair play rules, at least in terms of legislative differences between the company and the developer, the person who invests versus the people who do things. There'd be a bit of a conversation to be had, okay? This wasn't done by Kuro, okay? It was done by the shareholders of Kuro. Same way I can go into the stock market, I can buy whatever I want. Let's say, for example, Tesla, all right? I can buy Tesla, but let's say in a perfect universe, I own 51% of Tesla, and that was public, all right? And the private 49% was still the private 49%. I can't touch that percent. And with this way that this company is run for Kuro Games, okay? It doesn't necessarily mean that Tencent's in control. They're simply just trying to reap rewards of being a investor of the company. It says it pretty much right here in a moment as well. Judging from Tencent's consistent investment style, holding does not mean control, not to mention that Kuro's area expertise is not Tencent's absolute strength, but it's possible that the relationship between Kuro Games and Tencent Games will be closer, alright? Maybe they work more interactive. Like, look, let's talk about it like this. The worst situation you're going to see, okay, it's going to be very similar to maybe League of Legends where they have more cosmetics in the game. The core foundation of the game is always going to be the same, alright? And I do understand that League of Legends did recently add, and by recently I mean maybe it was like 6 months to a year ago, they did add a gacha system to get things in, say, teamfight tactics and that kind of stuff. Again, I'm not a huge League player myself, so I don't know the direct fundamental changes that game will incur from that addition to the game, but it is cosmetics. It's not pay to win, it's not pay to play, it's simply just to make the characters you use look prettier. And I'm just saying, okay, if this game wants to bless me and they want to give me the perfect Xian Zin skins, right, for maybe $15, $20, maybe I'll bite on it, you know? It's only going to give us more stuff to look at. And if you don't want the skins, by all means, don't buy them. They're not mandatory. They don't give you stat increases. Oh, and if you want another example, then we can go and talk about Valorant. Alright, Valorant's got the same system of skins in-game, right? And this is gonna sound crazy, but they don't change anything, okay? This is the core thing I want to get across. These do not change the gameplay, you know? Guns might feel different from a placebo effect because they sound different, and they reload different, and there's different noise cues and that kind of thing, but all in all, they are the exact same, alright? That is the main thing I want to get across. Anyway, back to the article. The follow-up games such as War of the Double Pamish and Ming Tide and the codename Nami on development may receive more support from Tencent, which is a good thing. Kuro Games going forward, more games they create, they're gonna have more financial backing behind it to potentially be more ambitious, alright? And just to let you guys know, if I haven't said it already, I'm gonna move this aside so you can see this. Yeah, Tencent's worth $500 billion. With a T. Trillion. Let that sink in, okay? So this kind of company to be able to invest into you is nothing but a good thing, okay? And it's not going to be loans, it's not going to be, it's going to be raw cash influx from the company. Obviously, we're not going to know the financial backdoor of it and the way the deal is structured, but the point is, it is an investment opportunity for Kuro to go absolutely sicko mode 2.0, 3.0, whatever they want to do going forward, even the new games they do create, okay? And in the past few years, Tencent's investment in domestic games has slowed down and is quite ready to increase its holdings in Kuro now. Exactly, so Tencent are very reclusive with how they do invest in games. The main thing that they kind of did is, Riot's a big one, obviously, Valorant, League of Legends. Roblox is another one that comes to mind. These are all very, very highly established, highly profitable games, so they don't really need to expand the portfolio more. But hey, if there's a great chance that they can see with the numbers they have provided, obviously if it's a low risk, high reward return, why would you not take it? Like anyone would with a brain cell. On one hand, it's maybe due to Tencent's emphasis on Kuro Games in the second dimension. On the other hand, it may also be related to the current recovery of the domestic industry and the emergence of hot new products. So essentially in CN, like locally, they're not investing, they're kind of expanding the borders and going elsewhere, right? Because the whole world's making games, okay? So yeah, to those comments, as you can see on my screen, that are saying Wuwa is dead. Yeah, you're wrong. If anything, Hoyo should be quaking in their boots because they're not worth $500 billion, okay? Yeah, not really a thing. And like, a lot of the misconception comes from comments like this, as you can see. It's still worrisome news, but I don't expect trouble in the short term if they really didn't want to take over decision making, or somewhere in the future that'd be bought 49% of shares, obviously, because by law, Kuro themselves also mean decision making. That's how it applies in America. Deals can be structured different internationally, and obviously all of that kind of thing. Europe's got different financial fair play laws and that kind of thing. It's different no matter where you go, and we will never see the contracts around the deal or anything like that, okay? But this is a big fear that people are having, and, you know, 51% was already purchasable, okay? That's the thing. That's what I'm trying to say. Kuro always had 49. That this is not any new news, okay? And the agreement holds, question of how long, 4 years, 5 years? Yeah, like, we don't know the semantics, right? And if this game does crumble in 2030, my god, we would have got 5 years of pure peak, okay? Pure Genshin Hoopact, you know what I'm saying? It's a net fucking positive all around. And, you know, got people saying, I'm gonna say this video, come back for a year, this guy's no idea how greedy Tencent games are. I mean, everything I've ever read, they're kind of hands off. So, yeah, don't really know the point of that one, but look, that's the whole point of the video. I pretty much just wanted to come here, clear my name for being a reaction Andy, making a 5-minute quick, hey guys, don't worry about it video. Yeah, and elaborate more on that, okay? Because clearly, I probably should have in the first place, and that is my bad, alright? I'm aware a lot of you probably wouldn't have got this far in the video because you've already seen the first one, and I said don't worry about it, and I'm saying don't worry about it even more with backing evidence, right? Because some people are just silly, okay? But yeah, kind of just wanted to, instead of potentially fearmonger, I wanted to kind of level the playing field, explain both sides of it, and yeah. There is a little bit of a reason to be cautiously optimistic, but hey, it's, for me, looking like nothing but a positive. And with games like Valorant that are 4 years old, League of Legends is like 12, 13 years old, and they've only really made a change that is cosmetic to the game after a decade, mind you, I think we're going to be doing just fine. The TLDR, like the video if you want to play 2.0 wuwa, and 3.0 is going to be even better because they've got financial backing to be very, 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 very ambitious for what they're going to be doing. Thank you for watching, boys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.